episode 4, 314. We Out Here Sports Podcast. Like I just said, episode 4. If you guys want to keep up with us, you know what to do. Hit that like button, hit that share button, share it to your friends, your mom, grandma, aunt, auntie, grandma, dog,
anybody,
pig, you name it. If you want to keep up with us, also our TikTok, We Out Here Sports Podcast, Instagram, We Out Here 314 Pod. Without further ado, let's get it kicked off. What are we talking about today?
All right, so today we are going to be talking about college football playoffs. So this year was, there's a few teams that, you can predict that would make it, but one of the teams, TCU. Nobody in hell could have predicted this. Nobody in hell could have predicted that Bama would not make it, yet TCU would. So I think today I think we need to discuss, who's going to win the national championship out of these 4 teams.
So, and give me a refresher. Who's number 1?
So the number 1 seed is Georgia at 13-0.
Then
We
Michigan.
got the 2 seed, Michigan 13-0, TCU 3 at
4. Then 4 is Ohio State.
4 is Ohio State. Yep. And then they knocked Bama down to 5, Tennessee at 6, Utah at 7, and USC at 8. Those 4 teams, if they won maybe another game or so, and didn't lose a crucial one like the Alabama-Tennessee game, Bama probably slips in. Let's see, who did USC lose to that cost them the? Wasn't it they played
UCLA?
Yeah, they lost to UCLA. That caused them to miss the playoffs or have a chance at it. And so here we are. We've got on Saturday, December 31st, we got the 4 seed Ohio State Buckeyes playing the number 1 Georgia Bulldogs. Cannon, who do you think is going to pull out with this game? The 1 seed versus the 4 seed. Who do you think who's going to pull out?
I got Georgia, just
Georgia?
because it gives Stroud another chance to come back and play a big team.
Mm-hmm.
But he's going to be losing his number 1 target, who just declared for the draft, Jackson Smith-Njigba.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was like 2 weeks ago, he put an Instagram thing out saying that he was going to get ready for the NFL draft, and he was declaring for the draft and wasn't going to play in the college football playoff. I guess he wants to stay healthy, but I don't know. I feel like he's already going to be a first-round pick no matter what. He's probably going to be a top 15 at least. But I don't know. I think if he plays, it helps his draft lottery go up because he's such a valuable part of that Ohio State offense. Say they beat Georgia, they end up winning it all. Even though Ohio State struggles in the college football playoff, I think that helps him. But him not being there is going to be a big reason why I don't think they will have success. But Marvin Harrison Jr., that kid's a stud, so I think he's going to get a crap load of targets, and he'll make Georgia pay. But I saw that Georgia picked up a couple of people from the transfer portal. Are they eligible to play right away?
I do not think they would be eligible because it's the college football playoffs. I don't think when you transfer and you're already in the playoffs, you're eligible. But we could be wrong.
I don't think you can. Like I know you don't have to sit out a whole year now. So maybe
I know you can dress, but I don't think you can play.
Maybe they can play next year, but that's all I know because I know they picked up Mizzou's number 1 receiver.
Yep, they did. I saw that.
Mississippi State's receiver.
Mm-hmm.
But I have Georgia winning that game.
I've got Georgia too. It's just former national championships, and usually when teams like Georgia, which is similar to Alabama's dominance, when they're in the college football playoffs, it's really hard to beat them, especially from experience. Ohio State, they've had plenty of experience in the national football, college football playoffs, but, I just think Georgia's defense, what they can do to any team is just going to absolutely just run up C.J. Stroud. Now, obviously, C.J. Stroud, Heisman finalist, I think he'll be able to put some numbers up against Georgia, but I think Georgia's just going to I think they're actually going to walk right into the national championship. I think it's going to be a 14-plus win game for Georgia. So let's go over. We got a team that shocked the world this year. We got 3-seed TCU taking on the 2-seed Michigan Wolverines. And Michigan, one of their quarterbacks, he just transferred to Iowa. So that leaves Michigan with a QB that puts up insane numbers versus, a surprising TCU team. So I think in this game, I'm going to go with
Wasn't TCU's quarterback that Max Duggan?
Yes, and he was a Heisman finalist as well. And a lot of people are going to hate me for that. I got to go with TCU, man. It's just, I think you got to love an underdog story. And what TCU's been able to do this year, yes, again, they play teams that, you would not consider to be, big competition, especially for a big TCU team. But you got to look at the numbers and what TCU has done. Last year, let me see what TCU's 21 TCU football record. So last year TCU, they were 5-7, and now TCU.
They're not even. That wasn't even bowl eligible.
No, that's not even bowl eligible.
Top
And
four.
now they're top 4 playing Michigan. You know, is kind of a familiar face. You know, they're off and on, but you know they're here again. They've had an unbelievable year. They have an unbelievable running back. They got a few wide receivers here and there. Great quarterback, and I think. They're great, but I think TCU, just an underdog story, would be amazing for this year. So I got to go for TCU. Pat, what do you think about the TCU-Michigan game?
What ranks TCU?
TCU is the 3 seed. Michigan is 2. Gotta love an underdog story nowadays.
I think Michigan wins it easily.
Really?
Well,
Easily?
Didn't TCU's quarterback just that Duncan kid? Didn't he declare eligible?
Let's see.
I saw he posted it on Instagram.
I think he did declare,
but I don't know if that means he's gonna play or not. You think he plays? I don't think TCU is gonna stop Michigan's run game. So Michigan has a good defense too.
He will suit up.
He's playing.
Yep. He will be leading TCU's offense to get to Michigan in the semifinals.
It should be. I mean, it should be a good game.
According to FoxSports.com. So,
I would say you're not really used to having 2 of those 2 teams in the college football playoff. But I just saw here.
Can't disagree there.
There's 3 people out of the 4 finalists for the Heisman Trophy. So the 4 people from it, only one of them didn't make the college football playoff, and it was the cat who won it. That Caleb Williams from USC, because Max Duncan from TCU.
Yep.
They're in it. Stetson Bennett, Georgia's quarterback, they're in it. Ohio State, CJ Stroud's in it. So I don't know. I don't like Caleb Williams, but I don't know how he got that. So then you have. So then you'll have TCU versus
Georgia, and I've got Georgia. That game will be a much different game. That's going to be a Georgia just pounds on TCU because yes. I think the underdog story will pull through against Michigan, but it's gonna Cinderella stories and underdogs have to come to an end at one point. We learned last year with the Bengals, unfortunately, in the Super Bowl. You know, it was an amazing Cinderella story, but in this case, I think TCU will make it, but Georgia's just gonna pound on TCU, and they'll be back-to-back national champions.
So that I would have Michigan versus Georgia.
Yep, that would be an interesting matchup. Very interesting.
Georgia will probably go in it. I think no matter who Georgia plays, I hope they don't, because I want to see someone else win.
Yeah, I'd love to see a new national championship winner, but
I don't know. Georgia.
Yeah.
If they start out cold like they showed against Mizzou, they show that they can still fight back from a big upset. But I think they'll probably win it all.
I think that should be. And then our college football.
I'd rather have Alabama in here instead of those 2 teams.
You know, that was a big discussion. And Nick Saban, for around 2 weeks, he came out and he was, he had a fair say in why they were not able to make it. But, I'm not going to be the one to say that they should be in, but I think it's good to see a new face in the college football playoffs because, yes, you love the competition, but I think it's a great idea that there's a new face and, a new challenge, So I think that'll be something interesting to pay attention to.
But if you have Tennessee and Alabama instead of Michigan and TCU,
yes, that would be
college football playoff just sounds so much better. And
yes,
it's so much more
that is true.
Appealing to the eye. I think.
Yes, that is very, very true. But I think that's all we got for college football. I mean, there's some big bowl games going on.
I don't know any. I thought I knew way more college football than I did. I don't even. Who does Alabama play in the bowl game?
Alabama bowl. They play. Let's see. They play against. Let's see if we can find it because it's not pulling up on here.
They play KSU.
Yes, they do. I think Bama, that'll be a...
They'll kill them.
Now, is Bryce Young playing that game? I mean, I thought I saw something about him.
I don't know. I heard he might come back.
Really?
Well, the NIL deals. Tennessee versus Clemson in the Capital One Orange Bowl. That game's good. Those are two teams. The Clemson's always usually in the Final Four.
Mhm.
And they get to play Tennessee, who should have been in there, but they blew that one. I think that might be better than one of those Final Four games.
Yeah.
I would say. I don't know who.
So Bryce Young and Will Anderson, two of the most popular faces of Alabama's college football team, they both plan to play in the bowl game. So, those are two highly recruited athletes that
he made. I read something before he even stepped foot on campus at Alabama. He got offered like $1.5 million as an NIL.
Mhm.
So I mean, as an 18-year-old kid who gets offered that NIL deals is insane.
That's
so like,
insane.
I think he's gonna stay another year to make more money because I don't know.
Because both, I
I
think,
mean,
have first-round potential easily.
Bryce Young.
Bryce Young, without a doubt.
Alabama Day if he is. I don't know about the other cat.
Will has put up some unbelievable. He set some records, but I think he could be a late first-round slide, early second-rounder. But I think if Bryce stayed or Will stayed for one more year, because they both have the time to do that. Because what are they both 21 years old? I think.
Might be younger.
And then so Bryce is 21, and then Will Anderson is. Yeah, he's 21 as well, so they could both afford to stay for one more year with maybe a little bit of NIL help, but they
don't need help money, but
they really don't. But with Alabama's recruiting they've done in these past 2 weeks, I mean, they've had one of the most amazing 5-star recruit signings, and it's just unbelievable what I've seen Saban do. That if these two stayed, without a doubt, I think Bama would be back in the playoffs next year. But I think for this episode, that's all we got on, I think, college football for the national playoffs. Something that
for national playoffs.
For national playoffs, yeah, it's something that, it's late in the year for it, but I think that's all we got. So, guys, thank you for watching. To keep up with us, please follow, like, subscribe, comment down below anything you guys want us to know. Thank you for watching. Peace.